All right, welcome. So we'll continue our prayers for the Ukraine as we've been doing the last several months since the beginning of the war. And remembering that our heart is a receiver and a transmitter, and when we join hearts together, that increases the power of the energy, love energy, compassion energy that we're sending collectively. Do a share screen here. And the little video I have isn't so much about the war, but it's a Ukrainian art form, egg painting. And I guess eggs are a symbol of new life or new birth. It's Easter, you know, I think Easter egg. So these beautiful eggs. There's a word for this in Ukrainian.
When the Pasinski over 100 years ago, they brought the notion that great Italian food.
Hi, I'm Donna Wolf from Nastasia.
Today, I wanted to show you a Ukrainian egg art called pisanki. This is an egg art my family and friends, both with Ukrainian heritage and without, create around this time every year. A pisanka is an egg made by writing symbols with the tool called a kistka and beeswax. We also use dyes in our work. These dyes are a bit stronger than traditional food coloring dyes you find in the grocery stores. The colors also have meaning. To start, we'll generally use a chicken egg, but you can use a duck, turkey, or goose egg. Some people remove the contents of an egg by drilling a little hole and blowing the inside yolk out. We plan our design on the egg. We use pencil guidelines to mark certain divisions. It's not easy making straight lines on a 3D object. Once the basic design is planned out, we take out our kistka, which is made with a piece of metal formed into a funnel, then wrapped with wire around a wooden stick. We heat the metal part by placing it into a candle and scoop the beeswax from the top. Then practice on paper with the lines. Some place the heated tip into the beeswax instead and let the wax move upwards into the funnel. Of course, we have more modern tools like the electric kiska, which heats the wax to just the right temperature. Then we start creating lines and symbols on the egg. Where we place the wax right now, those areas will remain white in the final design. The wax acts like masking tape and preserves the color underneath. We have to plug the hole either with wax or a silicone stopper to prevent dye going inside. And here's the egg dyed yellow. Now we add another layer of beeswax and write more symbols on the egg. These symbols will show up as yellow in the final egg. Then we take the egg and dip it directly into a green dye and pat it dry. Here's the same egg with the layer of green dye on it. Next, we create the lines that will be green in the final egg. This area will remain green after we take off all the wax in the end. Before dipping into the next color, you can gently wash off some of the green dye with soap and water. This helps make the next color a bit brighter. Now the areas we place wax on this time will remain orange in the final egg, and then we'll place it into the red dye. Now I'll add the wax in areas that I want to remain red in the final egg. Then we give the egg a final dip in black dye, remove the plug, and ensure the egg is dry. Some traditionalists use candles to remove the wax, but these days many of us use a heat tool from the paper crafting world instead. This creates just enough heat to melt the wax, yet not harm the eggshell nor the dyes on it. If you would like to preserve your pisanka, you can use a light coating of an oil-based varnish. And if you would like more information about this beautiful art form, my good friend and teacher, Lori Popow, and I have written several books, including a beginner pisanki book. Plus, Lori has many videos online showing a detailed step-by-step process of this art form. Check out my website at nastasia.com or loripopow.com.
All right. Okay, so we'll start our meditation. Really setting our intention to connect to our heart in a deep way, and to our beloved in a deep way, and to each other's heart in a deep way, and to send those heart messages and love to the heart of the Ukraine and the heart of Russia. So we begin by getting comfortable in our seat, alert and comfortable. Feet on the floor, making a connection to the earth, to the floor. Bring our attention to our breath. Just being with our own breath for a moment. In a really intimate way, the gentle rise and fall of the breath. Allowing the rhythm of the breath to collect our attention, to soften, to start to be at ease. Gather our scattered thoughts. Just starting to let go into the aliveness that's always there, moment to moment, with a receptive openness. And then picturing the whole sky above our heads, filled with a beloved smile, or the Buddha smile, horizon, horizon. Smile of deep, deep peace. Smile of compassion. I'm bringing the smile inside, just merging with the smile, bringing it first inside our heads, merging with the smile, letting it come around the corners of the eyes, just smiling slightly across the brow, softening the brow. Inside the eyes. Down the corners of the mouth, the smile be there. And inside the mouth, the tongue to the root of the tongue, the jaw, slackening some. Right down through the neck, the smile, and bringing it into the shoulders from the inside. Letting the smile, the energy of the smile and the presence. Feel the shoulders running back from the inside. Noticing maybe where we're holding tight, or there's stiffness, tension. Seeing if any of that wants to loosen and soften on its own. Becoming more aware of with a tender kind of sensitivity to the life that's playing through us, through our body. Go down the arms to the hands from the inside, bring the smile inside the hands. You feel some tingling sensation of life energy. As we do this, there's just an overall dissolving the mind, dissolving into the body, like ice melting into water, letting go and a softening. Back to the breath again, upper chest and down into the belly, just following the breath, letting the belly soften even more with each breath. With this breath. And this breath. Bringing a smile into the whole pelvic region from the inside. Front and back, side to side. And the energy of the smile, the presence of the smile, fill that whole area, the trunk area. Smile bringing with it a sensation of aliveness. A soft, allowing openness. And down the length of the legs from the inside to the feet. Just feeling into and listening to the feet from the inside and the toes from the inside. Letting the smile fill the space inside the feet. And then widening the lens of our awareness to include the whole body. It's a living, vibrating field of presence. Love its presence and love its smile. Field of alive energy. Just one. And from there, let's deepen our connection to our hearts. If you want, you can place your right hand on the upper chest. That helps sometimes to make the heart connection and just naturally starting to breathe in and out of the heart. It's a quieter, maybe slower, more subtle breath than our usual breath. Breathing in the smile into the heart. Just noting the felt sense in the heart, whatever's there. Not trying to change anything. Just acknowledging what's there with acceptance. And then we'll start to breathe in with the heart breath, the name for the Most High, whatever that is for you, whoever that is for you. It's Baba, or Buddha, the One, the Great Spirit, Allah. Just breathing that in with the heart breath. Letting the name come in into the chest. With that slow wave-like rhythm. And noticing what happens when you bring the name of the beloved into our heart. What happens in the heart space. Now let's just go deeper and opening even more into the deep heart, letting the name of the Most High take us there. Wants to go home. Just opening and opening, going deeper and deeper. And deeper. And just an allowing. You'll know when you feel you've settled into the deep heart, your own deep heart, place of your own deep holiness. Just explore that for a moment. Be with your own holiness. From there, inviting our beloved into our deep heart in even more intimate way. Perhaps invoking his or her physical presence in our deep heart. And just being with that presence. Drinking in whatever love or light. Our beloved is giving. Letting the deep heart drink and drink and drink. As the Sufis say, all hearts are thirsty for this love. When you feel ready, make that conscious connection to the deep hearts of everyone else in today's prayer vigil for the Ukraine. Feeling everyone's sincerity. Maybe look, seeing the light in each other's heart, the love that's there. Maybe seeing that vessel that we've created for transmitting our love and concern and compassion to the heart of Ukraine over these weeks. When you feel ready, just let the prayers flow naturally from our deep heart, from our vessel to the heart of the Ukraine, and to all the Ukrainians everywhere connected to that heart, and to the heart of Russia and all the sincere Russians who don't want this war. But everyone's connected. A Jain prayer for peace. Peace and universal love is the essence of the gospel preached by all the enlightened ones. Know that violence is the root cause of all miseries in the world. Violence, in fact, is the knot of bondage. Quote, do not injure any living being. End of quote. This is the eternal, perennial, and unalterable way of spiritual life. A weapon, however powerful it may be, can always be superseded by a superior one, but no weapon can be superior to nonviolence and love. And as Mir Baba says in this quote, true love is unconquerable and irresistible. So we'll start to end today's prayers for the Ukraine. Going back into ourselves. Noticing the quality of presence in your being. Continuing to breathe. We'll end with this blessing. May we come home to the light, love, and aliveness. That's our deep nature. May we live our lives from loving presence. May all beings live their lives from loving presence. May that loving presence ripple out in a way that brings peace and healing to our world. So each in our own way, just giving appreciation, gratitude to our beloved for whatever he received, whatever he feel he gave to ourselves, to the Ukraine, to Russia. Appreciation for everyone who's here today, and for everyone everywhere around the world. For sharing in the suffering that's happening there. And before we end, I wanted to read this quote, just short paragraph from Lord Buddha's explanation of the universe. And the story goes that Buddha's disciples asked him to explain everything, and apparently he obliged, and for I don't know how many days or weeks he explained the whole nature of the universe and the human mind in detail. And back then people could memorize, that was how they transmitted. It was an oral transmission. Finally, it was written down during the time of Ashoka in India and placed in monasteries. It's called the Abhidhamma. And wasn't translated, part of it wasn't translated into English until the early mid-50s by an Indian scholar. And then there's this Father Mayor Baba, Lawrence Ryder, who published Mayor Baba's biography written by his disciple Bal Kachuri, 20 volumes. But the last book that Lawrence Ryder, Hermes was his nickname, published was his updated version. The original English was kind of awkward English, and he wanted to do it more modern English. So that's what I'm reading from. But there's a section here on the heart, which I think is profound and amazing. So I'll read it. According to the Buddha, there is the heart element or current, which is the center of a being's consciousness and the very center of its mind. In many respects, this most important life element is also a reflecting current inside the mind. The Buddha referred to it as the reflective current of the heart. And that kind of ties into the heart's compared to a mirror that reflects. It is with the aid of the heart current that the major reflections of the human mind are produced. The heart reflective current is also a byproduct of the four pure abstract elements: air, water, fire, earth. These are the abstract elements that make up all of the universe. And as such, it can be understood as a subtle force, a polish, or a light that exists within the blood in the cavities of the physical heart. Although the blood flows in and out of the heart, this reflecting light, which is the main mirror of the mind, remains constantly within. The heart is the most powerful and forceful reflecting polish current in the body and the mind. The function performed by this current is to reflect to the mind the feelings the passions, and the emotions, both good and bad, high and low, great and small. The concentration of the heart current in the cavities of the human heart constitutes the center of the human mind. And to the heart are linked the 5 environmental senses. The heart current is the central transmitting station at which the electrical dispatches from the 5 environmental reflective senses are directed. And such major reflections of the environment as are mirrored in sufficient power and intensity penetrate to the heart reflective organ, and thereby the waves of emotions and passions begin. The minor, faint reflections of the environmental elements fade before they penetrate the heart. The heart reflecting current also exists throughout the entire physical life system of any being, human and animal, but only inside the cavities of the heart does it arise in full, active, concentrative, intense formation. Thus, the heart is the key to unlocking the mind to its real potential. And Mayor Baba said something similar, and that's the research of heart math verifies that, the scientific research. Okay, so let me stop share. Great. So I scheduled for the month of July to continue our Thursday afternoon prayer vigils, and also just a reminder that every day connect into our connected hearts into this vessel and keep the energy alive, keep transmitting, and keep the hope alive. And as the Sufis say, stay in the love. All right. Have a beautiful day and see you all next time.